Welcome to AI Breach, episode 147. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah.
Today we're doing a deep dive into some really interesting AI developments.
Yeah, quite a mix. We've got Microsoft's big plans for like an agentic web.
Right, and their new AI for speeding up science. Plus these AI headphones that translate crowds. Sounds wild.
Definitely. We'll also touch on Siri's potential AI reboot, this infinite agent concept that popped up.
And a bunch of other AI news bites, finishing off with some useful AI tools you might want to check out.
So let's get into it. Where should we start? Microsoft.
Yeah, let's start there. Their build event had this big theme, the open agentic web.
Right. And a key part of that seems to be updating GitHub Copilot. They're making it an asynchronous agent.
Which, for developers could mean it works more in the background, less interruptive.
Exactly. And they're open sourcing Copilot chat in VS Code. That feels like a pretty big move, community-wise.
It does.
Yeah.
And they didn't just update old stuff. There's Magentic-UI.
Ah, yeah, the open source research thing. For web agents that collaborate, but, crucially, with humans keeping an eye on things.
Sort of points towards AI being more integrated, but, managed.
Yeah, and they're adding more models to Azure AI, Foundry Grok 3, and Grok 3 Mini from xAI.
Bringing the total to over 1,900 models available there. That's a lot of options for developers.
It really is. Then there's NLWeb.
That's the one aiming to make adding chat interfaces to websites as easy as, like, HTML.
Pretty much. If that works, it could really change how businesses build websites, make them much more interactive.
And finally, Copilot itself is getting smarter tuning on company data, managing multiple agents for tasks.
So it feels like a really strong push towards practical agents, and the open source element is definitely a trend to watch.
Speaking of practical, let's talk about Discovery, Microsoft's platform for speeding up science R&D.
Right. This uses AI, they call them postdoc agents, and this graph knowledge engine.
So it helps scientists with everything from brainstorming hypotheses to simulating experiments.
And analyzing results, yeah. They showed off how it found a new data center coolant non-PFAS in about 200 hours.
Wow. That kind of thing usually takes months, years.
Easily. And they're trying to make it accessible, use natural language, not complex coding, to tap into supercomputing power.
Makes sense. Democratizing access. And big names are already using it.
Yeah, GSK, Estee Lauder, Nvidia, Synopsys, across pharma, cosmetics, chips. It could really slash R&D time everywhere.
Okay, shifting gears completely now. These AI headphones from the University of Washington, they translate crowds.
Yeah, multiple speakers at once. But the really clever bit is it keeps their voices distinct and tells you where they are in the room spatially.
Well, how does that even work? Special headphones?
Modified off-the-shelf ones, apparently, with extra mics. Then AI separates the voices, translates in near real time.
And plays it back so it sounds like the actual person speaking, just in your language from their location.
That's the idea. It scans 360 degrees, tracks speakers, even if they move.
Okay, that's impressive. What languages does it handle now?
Currently, Spanish, German, French. There's a slight delay, maybe 2 to 4 seconds, and it runs locally on like an M2 chip device.
Still, imagine using that in a busy international setting. That could be revolutionary for, real-world communication.
Absolutely. Could break down a lot of barriers in noisy places.
Now, back to the big tech players. Apple and Siri. Sounds like there's some trouble with the AI refresh.
Yeah, the initial plan, just adding AI features to the existing Siri, apparently that's been scrapped.
Scrapped? So what are they doing?
Reports say they're starting over, trying to properly connect Siri to the web for real-time info, which sounds fundamental.
It does sound fundamental and probably means a significant delay.
That's the concern. Could impact things down the line, iPhone appeal, maybe even future stuff like robots or VR glasses if Siri is key.
Meanwhile, a startup, Flowith, they unveiled something called Neo.
Ah, the infinite AI agent. Big claims there.
They're saying it beats Manus AI and OpenAI's deep research on the GAI benchmark.
And the infinite part refers to handling like over 1,000 reasoning steps without losing track, plus deploying parallel agents.
Yeah, an agent that can think that deeply and multitask like that. It's definitely an interesting concept if it works as advertised.
For sure. Okay, let's quickly run through some other developments. Elon Musk talked more about Grok 3.5.
Said it will reason from first principles, use physics for accuracy. trying to minimize errors.
And there were reports about Apple's former AI head, Gianandrea, favoring Google's Gemini over ChatGPT due to trust issues, apparently.
Interesting insight. And OpenAI's CPO had a take on agent evolution.
Yeah, Kevin Weil. He suggested they'll go from like junior devs now to senior architects, maybe even AI engineering managers supervised by humans eventually.
A whole AI career ladder. Nvidia also announced NVLink Fusion.
Right, opening up their interconnect tech to let rival CPUs and GPUs connect better with Nvidia hardware. More openness there, too.
We also saw China criticize recent U.S. export controls regarding Huawei's AI chips.
Regulatory tensions continuing. And Google. They launched an Android app for NoteBookLM.
The AI tool for making podcasts, study guides, briefings from your notes, now on mobile.
GitHub's Copilot is also getting more agent-like features, autonomous testing, fixing code, pull requests.
Building on OpenAI's Codex work. And speaking of OpenAI, a study found GPT-4 is more persuasive than humans.
Especially if it has some personal details about who it's debating.
And UBS, the Swiss bank, is making digital twins of its analysts.
Using OpenAI and Synthesia tech, the goal is freeing up the humans for other work.
Finally, Firecrawl, a web scraping company, is actually hiring AI agents.
3 of them, plus human managers, for coding support. With $1 million budget, that's quite something.
It really is. Okay, let's wrap with some trending tools people might find useful.
Right. Notion AI Enterprise, better searching across your apps and docs.
We mentioned Codex from OpenAI for coding tasks, and Grok from XAI, now generating charts.
Agent Neo from Flowith, that infinite agent. iDocs for automatic redaction.
Durable AI for building small business websites quickly. Cutout for AI photo editing and design.
And Respond.io, a platform for centralizing customer chats and automating tasks with AI.
So that's our deep dive for today. A lot happening across the AI landscape.
Definitely. We hope this gave you some valuable insights into where things are heading.
And to keep up with future explorations in AI, please do follow and share AI Brief with anyone else you think might be interested in the future of tech.